Hello, Steve Blacknell here. Failed broadcaster, failed everything, but very successful on Manic TV. I'll just get my researcher in. What did I say? Well, fuck off. What did I say? Mo, have you got something in your back of your mind?
Hello, guys. I'm Mo Foster. Sorry, did you just fart? I'm Mo Foster. I've been a bass player for just about 50 years. And before that, I was a physicist, and not a very good one. I discovered one day, I was trying to sweep the floor of this laboratory, discovered that if you nick some liquid nitrogen and pour it on the floor, it pushes all the shit out of the way under the furniture. I remember thinking, this is good, but it's not the way to live. So here we go.
Hello, everyone. Nick Carpenter here. I've spent my life in and around stages and musicians and television shows and just hanging around backstage like a bad smell, really. So plenty of stories, and I've seen lots of very dubious things occur. But when I've spent a busy weekend watching the paint dry, there's nothing I'd rather do after that than turn to Manic TV.
I'm Steve Blacknell, Paul McCartney, Bono, Frank Sinatra, just three of the people that won't be appearing on Manic TV. See you there.
That's like those Ronnie Scott's joke, where Ronnie Scott always used to do gags like that when he'd come on.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember the great Ella Fitzgerald said to me, "Who are you?" And now...
Hey,
Quick,
get
Ronnie.
off my foot.
Yeah.
Ronnie Scott said, we had Miles Davis in the club last week. He took me to one side and left me there.
Well, this place reminds me of home, filthy and full of strangers.
Right, Patrick, over to you.
Hi, my name's Patrick Humphries. Hard to believe, but I began my professional writing career as a hip young gunslinger on the NME back in 1976. I've since written books on rock and roll greats like Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, Nick Drake and Lonnie Donegan. And my last PLR statement, which is the amount of money you get paid for the number of times your books are taken from libraries, came in this week, £1.05.
Steve Blacknell here. I found a toy fire engine the other day, marvellous little thing, and I'm told I'll get up to £50 for it at auction, which will just about pay for the colonic irrigation.
Christopher Hitchens said, if Trump dies and they could give him an enema, he could have been buried in a matchbox.
Yeah, with friends like his, who needs enemas? Exactly. Well, good. Okay. Well, we're going well. So rock and roll's a funny thing, isn't it? And I think all heroes have their heroes. And way back when I was young and in underwear, I had all my heroes, and I worked with a lot of them. But one day I walked into an interview with Darryl Hall and John Oates, and to my horror, Darryl Hall stood up and said, "Fuck me, it's Steve Blacknell." I went, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, I watch you all the time." But it's weird that you just don't think as a presenter having fans in the rock and roll field, particularly with the talent I had. Anyone else met their heroes?
This shoulder was brushed against by Bob Dylan in 1986 at the National Film Theatre when he came to do a press conference for this terrible film called Hearts of Fire. And I was in the bar talking to David Hepworth and Mark Ellen. So what are you guys up to now? So we're just about to launch a new magazine called Q. That's a good name, isn't it? One of my bright ideas. Bob went on to deliver actually quite a good performance in one of the worst films of all time. And that's the nearest we've ever got to Bob Dylan. But he had his heroes. He went to Sun Studios in the 80s on tour. And if you go in, there's this X on the floor where Elvis sang by the microphone. And Bob got down, kissed the floor, and on the way out, the guide said, "Oh, Mr. Dylan, pleasure is to see you. You know, you're Elvis fan." He said, "Everyone's got heroes, man." That's Bob for you.
I had a Bob Dylan story.
Yes.
1972, I was on tour in America with Michael Darbo, and we spent a week at the bitter end in New York supporting John Prine, who sadly just died. And there was always rumour of Dylan appearing because they were mates. He never did. But one afternoon, I'd gone into the dressing room to sort a shirt out or something. And in the corner was a small figure covered in denim hat and Ray-Bans. I thought nothing of it. I just said hello. And the man said hi. And I began sorting out my shirt. And I suddenly thought, oh, fuck, I'm in a room with Bob Dylan. And I'd just seen the Pennebaker film where he was a bit caustic to everybody. And I was vulnerable. So I began composing an introductory sentence that made me sound okay and full of subclauses and things. And got it ready and he fucked off. So we never did meet.
Well, I've got to tell the Heroes and Heroes story very quickly, is that there was a story that Rat Scabies told me here of the Damned, that he was rehearsing at No Miss Studios in London, and Ringo Starr was in the next studio doing one of his dreadful solo albums. Now, it just so happened that one of Rat's heroes was Ringo Starr. So while Ringo Starr was at lunch, Rat nipped next door and nicked his drumsticks. And while he was there, someone nicked into his studio and stole his drumsticks. So every hero has their heroes.
Well, my old friend Bruce Springsteen was on a plane. His manager said, and they said, "Oh, Van Morrison's a couple of rows down." So Bruce said, "I've got to go and see Van. He's one of my all-time heroes." And the E Street Band said, "Really, Van's reputation precedes him. It's not recommended." Bruce said, "No." So he walks down the plane, and they look down the plane, and they just see this finger wagging at Bruce Springsteen. And he comes back up the plane, and his manager says, "How did it go?" And Bruce says, "Okay, I've been told to fuck off by Van Morrison."
I think everyone's been told to fuck off by Van Morrison. Reminds me of actually the heroes. It's a story I may have shared before, but Heroes of Heroes. I was working on a show once where it was one of those Jubilee things at the Buckingham Palace, Golden Jubilee. And on the bill was Ozzy Osbourne in a reformed Black Sabbath, and also Brian Wilson. So it was a motley collection of musicians. But apparently Brian Wilson is the all-time hero of Ozzy, and he was absolutely stunned to see Brian Wilson standing there. And Ozzy's going, "Oh my God, look, it's Brian Wilson. I can't believe it. Look, Sharon, look, it's Brian Wilson. Can I go and can I say hello? Can I go and say hello?" I'm saying, "Well, of course you can. Just go and introduce yourself." So he sort of waddled over. And, obviously we know Brian these days is not entirely there. And Brian kind of turns around, probably had no idea who Ozzy was. And the two of them are like sort of Jerry Anderson puppets. So they're kind of like, and Ozzy goes, "Oh, Brian, I'm such a big fan. It's amazing. I can't believe you're here." And Brian just looked at him and went, and then walked away. And Ozzy looked really shell-shocked, and he just turned to me and said, "What a fucking weirdo." So obviously his hero didn't turn out to be the way he expected.
Your accent just inspired a memory. I had a school band many, many years ago, and the great thing to do was play Wolverhampton Gaumont Teenage Morning, which we did. And we'd lost our main singer. We had to get another one at short notice, but actually wasn't very good at all. And he was also very nervous, lost all the saliva in his mouth. His tongue kept sticking to the roof of his mouth. So if he sang "How Do You Do It," it was a kind of yodel, "How do?" And we ploughed through our three allotted songs, and he walked off. There wasn't a ripple, not a clap from the couple of thousand people in the auditorium, except for one voice, the lone voice from the back of the auditorium yelled out, this is Wolverhampton, yelled out, "It's about time you fucked off."
I was with Art Garfunkel in New York, and we did the interview in his apartment, and there were so many gold discs, there wasn't room on the wall for them. And we did the interview, and it was great because it was talking about the Simon and Garfunkel remastered, so we didn't need to go into his solo career, which was fine. And at the end of the interview, what are you doing now? And I said, "Well, I don't know, it's a nice little Italian restaurant near the hotel. I'll probably go back and get a bottle of Chianti and some, tagliatelle and while the evening away. He said, do you want to come to a baseball match? And I said, well, go on then, Art, So we got in the chauffeur-driven limo, naturally, on our way out. And I said, oh, where's the match, Art? He said, Shea Stadium. I said, oh, wow. I said, that's where the Beatles played. And he looked and he patted me and he said, we played there too, Patrick, he said.